Of 10 o'clock having arrived, I'm now calling this House Housing and Community Development Committee voting meeting to order. For everyone's information, this meeting is being recorded and utilizing Microsoft Teams software for remote members. The public is watching this meeting live online, and it will be saved on the committee's YouTube channel. Dina, please take the roll call.
Chair Irvin. Rep. Barton. Rep. Cooper. Rep. Gatos.
She's not. Is she on designation? What is it? I don't have anything on.
Okay. Rep. Jones.
Designation.
Rep. Kutz.
Present.
Rep. Kuzma.
Designation.
Rep. McKenzie.
Designation.
Rep. Major. Rep. Stender.
Designation.
Rep. Twardzik.
Here.
Chair Sturla.
Here.
Rep. Abney. Rep. Belmont. Rep. Brown.
Designation.
Rep. Cephas. Rep. Donahue. Rep. Green.
Designation.
Rep. Kahn. Rep. Krajewski. Rep. Mattson.
Here.
Rep. Powell. Rep. Probst.
Designation.
Rep. Siegel.
I believe
Here.
it's online, yeah.
And Rep. Smith Waddell.
Designation. All right, thank you, Dina. We will start with House Bill 1179. I will recognize the bill's prime sponsor, Lisa Borowski, to make remarks.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Sturla and Irvin, and members of the Housing and Community Development Committee for considering House Bill 1179 this morning. Also known as Solar Access, it is a fancy title for a bill that will simply ensure residents who live in a condominium, a cooperative, or a planned community have the right to solar access for drying laundry, using a clothesline, or a drying rack outdoors. This practice saves on utility bills and helps with the sustainability of our planet. The legislation would limit the use of these items in backyard area, limit the use to backyard areas, maintaining the aesthetic appearance of the community. Clotheslines and drying racks would be prohibited from hindering public access or creating fire or safety hazards at the property. This legislation is homegrown. I was inspired to introduce it by residents living in an HOA in my district where they're not permitted to dry clothes in their backyard. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and thank the CAI for working with us on this legislation to get it to a good place, and as well as the staff here from the committee. I appreciate their help, and I thank you all for your consideration.
Thank you. I'll note that we've been joined by Representative Probst, and I'll now offer an amendment. Tim, would you please describe it?
Yes, this is Amendment A04258. This amendment allows cooperative, condo, and planned community association boards to adopt reasonable rules to address safety concerns relevant to the unique features of the association. In addition, the amendment adds protective language to prevent a constitutional challenge to the legislation as it relates to retroactivity.
Thank you, Tim. Do any members have comments or questions before we vote? Chair Irvin.
Thank you, and I appreciate the bill. Currently, homeowners associations can put like a community solar in. Is that would that be correct, or do you know that for sure? Would this only limit the fact that if they would put a solar in, it would just have to be in their backyard?
So this is just to put a clothesline in their
Just
backyard. It's not any community solar, I think, has a lot of different interpretations. We have community solar, and that's really about like solar panels and
Okay, so
communities being able to. This has nothing to do with solar panels.
Okay.
No,
okay.
it's just clotheslines.
Yeah, and I appreciate the idea of. I'm fortunate that I live in the country, and I really don't have any homeowners association tell me what I can and cannot do on my own property. And I think our caucus, and like I said, we're probably going to be taking the issue that we feel that this should be handled through the homeowners associations itself rather than through a bill. So I appreciate the bill and the amendment, but we're probably going to, our caucus is going to be a no on both of those. So thank you.
Thanks. Actually, we first need to entertain the amendment. Do I see a motion to entertain the amendment? I can't even see. Rep Bellman. And second, excuse me, Rep Abney. And second, Rep Khan. Any further comments? Dino, would you please take the roll?
No. No. No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No. No.
Yes, proxy. Yes, proxy. Yes, proxy.
Yes.
Rep Siegel, online.
Yes.
Yes, proxy. Okay, the amendment is adopted 14 to 10. I need a motion to report the bill as amended. Representative Powell, do I see a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Representative Siegel? If Chair Irwin is okay with it, can we use the same roll call as the amendment?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you, Chair Irwin. The bill is reported as amended, 14 to 11, or 10. Okay. Next up is House Bill 1064. I recognize the bill's prime sponsor, Representative Lindsay Powell, to make remarks.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I'm very excited today to address the committee about TIF bill, tax increment financing, which is a critical tool that would allow local governments to finance development projects using the revenue generated from the development itself. The idea is that public investment in infrastructure and other things bolsters property value growth, leading to increased property tax revenue. The amended legislation as well, the amendment within the legislation also adds and improves upon the bill by ensuring that we have anti-displacement activities as well. That means the creation and preservation of affordable housing, commercial spaces, land banking activities. As our municipalities are looking for more flexible tools to allow them to grow and invest in their spaces, TIF, tax increment financing, is one of those self-financing tools that allows for that growth. It really is a transformational opportunity for municipalities like the ones that I represent because it allows for future revenues to pay for current costs. And I encourage and hope that my colleagues will vote yes on this bill.
Thank you. We'll now offer an amendment. Tim, can you describe the amendment?
Absolutely. This is Amendment A03809, offered by Representative Powell. This amendment is largely technical in nature and does not change the intent or substance of the bill. However, it does make the following three changes. First, it makes anti-displacement activities a defined term in the definitions section of the TIF Act. Second, it ensures that an area of impact outside the TIF district where anti-displacement activities can be funded is determined by the local taxing bodies for each TIF district. And finally, it requires that anti-displacement activities are outlined in the TIF plan, just like all other items that are proposed to receive TIF funding.
Okay, before we do questions, I first need a motion to consider Amendment 03809. Representative Cephas, and second, Representative Khan. Any questions on the amendment? Chair Irvin.
Just a comment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a bill that we've been dealing with, I think, since I've even taken over as Republican chair of the Housing Committee, and we've been putting it back and forth. And myself, I know I've had some issues with it back and forth. And, I think what it comes down to is that should we allow deferred taxes, or should they be limited to the infrastructure use only rather than putting it out for anti-displacement activities as well? And I don't think our caucus is quite there yet on this, so we will be a no on both the amendment and the bill, but thank you.
Okay. Dina, are there any yays on the Republican side and any noes on the Democratic side? Then the amendment is adopted 1410. Now I need a motion to report the bill as amended, House Bill 1064. Representative Cephas, seconded by Representative Khan. Again, the same roll call. The bill is reported as amended, 14-10. Next up, House Bill 1387. I recognize the bill's prime sponsor, Representative Kutz, for remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1387, with the amendment being offered today, will exempt home purchase transactions in which the purchaser is a first-time homebuyer from the state's 1% of the realty transfer tax. This will save a first-time homebuyer some of the upfront costs that can be a barrier for a buyer at the time of closing. Rising home prices and mortgage interest rates have made housing affordability a substantial barrier for first-time homebuyers to enter the market and plant roots in Pennsylvania. According to U.S. Census data, Pennsylvania's population growth has stagnated, and younger Pennsylvanians are choosing to set their roots outside of our Commonwealth. In order to make Pennsylvania more attractive and more affordable for families and first-time homebuyers, it's important to create incentives and opportunities for young adults who want to move in and stay in Pennsylvania. Particularly, many first-time homebuyers struggle to find the money for the down payment and for closing costs. One of those costs is the RTT. Reducing the tax burden on first-time homebuyers would incentivize their ability to plant roots in Pennsylvania with a positive impact on our future economic outlook and labor force availability. Additionally, and perhaps most importantly, by reducing the tax burden on the transaction to first-time homebuyers of single-family homes, sellers are incentivized to sell to individual purchasers. This would help to encourage sellers to choose to sell to individuals and families rather than to companies or corporations that purchase homes as investment or rental properties, pushing individual buyers out of the market. This is a bipartisan bill. I'm proud to have Democratic sponsors on this bill as well, and thank the chairman for bringing it up, and I would ask for an affirmative vote. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Before we get to questions, Ashley, would you describe the amendment?
Amendment A04444, sponsored by Chairman Ervin, is an amendment that was created in collaboration with Chair Sterla and his staff and would close potential loopholes by clarifying that if more than one individual is purchasing the home, none of them may have previously owned. It also clarifies that they can never have owned in another state. Finally, it clarifies that the exemption provided under the bill is only for the state's 1% portion of the RTT, and it does not affect the local 1% portion of the RTT.
Right. Before we get to questions, I need a motion to move the amendment. Representative Kutz, second. Representative Major. Any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, are there any members that wish to vote no? Okay, we also have a designation now for Representative Gatos, so I believe the amendment will be adopted 25-0. Now I need a motion to report the bill as amended. Representative Kutz, second. Representative Major, do any members want to vote no? All right, seeing none, the bill is reported as amended, 25-0. Next up is House Bill 126. Tim, will you please provide a summary of the bill and the proposed amendment?
Absolutely. House Bill 126 creates the first-time home buyer savings account. and allows first-time home buyers to deposit money into a savings account for the exclusive purpose of purchasing a first home, and the money can be deducted from their state income tax. That's the bill. Should I go to the amendment
Yes,
as well?
yes, go to the amendment,
All right.
please.
This amendment moves the First-Time Homebuyers Program and the First-Time Homebuyers Fund from the Department of Revenue to the Office of State Treasury. The amendment also makes various editorial changes to make the bill internally consistent and more concise.
Okay, before we get to questions, I need a motion to consider Amendment 04499. Representative Cephas, second. Representative Khan. Questions on the amendment? Any questions? Pardon? Oh, yes, Representative Kutz, you want to speak on the bill?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I just want to offer support for this from our side of the aisle as well. I know the gentleman from Erie has been working on this for several sessions. I think it's a great proposal, as we all just saw with another first-time homebuyer issue. As we think about the generational wealth transfer that's going to happen as people are selling their homes, we want to be able to help these first-time homebuyers get from renting to home ownership. I just want to commend the gentleman for offering this bill and thank the chairman for bringing it up and look forward to offering our support from our caucus. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other comments? Are there any no votes on the amendment? Seeing none, the amendment's adopted 25-0. I need a motion to report the bill as amended. Representative Kutz, second. Representative Cephas. Any no votes on the bill as amended? Seeing none, the bill is reported as amended, 25-0. Last up is House Resolution 442. I recognize the resolution's prime sponsor, Representative Cephas, for remarks.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, colleagues, for the opportunity to speak today on House Resolution 442, which designates June 4th, 2024 as Links Day in Pennsylvania, which is the first time the members of the Links Incorporated in Pennsylvania will come to Harrisburg to speak with legislators and stakeholders about their legislative and policy priorities. On November 9th, 1946 in Philadelphia, two visionary leaders, Sarah Strickland Scott and Margaret Hawkins, co-founded the Links Incorporated. The two women envisioned an organization that would respond to the needs and aspirations of Black women in ways that existing clubs did not. It was their intent that the club would have a threefold mission: civics, educational, and cultural. Based on these objectives, the club would implement programs which founders hoped would foster cultural appreciation through the arts, develop richer intergroup relations, foster cultural appreciation through the arts, and help women who participated to understand and accept their social civic responsibilities and duties to their communities. Again, founded in Philadelphia, the Links Incorporated has grown into one of the nation's largest, most impactful volunteer service organizations. Each year, Links members contribute more than 950,000 documented hours of community service, a testament to their unwavering commitment to strengthening our communities and enhancing our nation. For example, this past weekend, Links members, including myself, packaged 11,000 meals in their Stop the Hunger campaign to be distributed in those in needed countries overseas. Additionally, in 2020 to 2022's program year alone, 15 million people were serviced through our programs. We've donated $1.4 million to historically Black colleges and universities through scholarships and endowments, and we distributed $4.3 million to academic scholarships for K-12 students. The Links Incorporated has over 16,000 members across 299 chapters located in 42 states, the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Bahamas, and the United Kingdom, including 7 chapters here in Pennsylvania, including Bucks County, the Delaware Valley chapter, the Harrisburg chapter, the Montgomery chapter, the Pentown chapter, the Philadelphia chapter, and the Pittsburgh chapter. Members of the Links Incorporated serve as influential leaders and role models, shaping their communities through advocacy, mentorship, and collaboration. Their leadership and dedication has made a significant mark on communities across our Commonwealth and our nation. Again, thank you, Chairman. I want to thank the committee members for your consideration, and I ask for a yes vote on House Resolution 442.
Thank you, Representative Cephas. Before we get to questions or comments, I first need a motion to report House Resolution 442. Representative Abney, I need a second. Representative Powell. Now, questions and comments. Any members, questions or comments? Yeah, Representative Twardzik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for bringing up this resolution. I am having trouble because we have just been inundated with resolutions, and we have important work to do. I'm sure the Links Incorporated seems like a fine organization, but because this came so late to us, I have not really had enough time to review it properly, so I will be a no.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Dina, would you please take the roll?
Yes. 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 Or no. No, sorry, no.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes, proxy. Yes, proxy.
Yes.
Yes, proxy.
Yes.
Yes. Rep Siegel online? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, proxy. Okay, thank you. Seeing the resolution is reported 23-2. Do any members have any questions or comments before we adjourn? I will point out that now I want to welcome Tim back after his medical leave, and we're going to put him to work because we're going to open the act or acts or anything related to pre-manufactured housing and start getting to work on trying to make sure that we can get as much housing produced in the state as possible with the least amount of problems involved with it, and it's affordable, and we're going to take that on with a vengeance now that Tim's back. So look forward to that, and if anybody has any particular special interests or concerns about it, please let me know because we'll make sure you're in on all the meetings, of which there will be many. So with that, thank you, and we're adjourned.